those 19 penalties I had last season was unacceptable. So that's something I want to address for sure, getting that number down or even having none. I want to keep growing as a player.
The point is that Laremy Tunsil talked to the media today, answered a bunch of questions from the Commanders reporters on Zoom, including starting with one of the big questions that I think folks had about his game, which the penalties last year. But first, let's just get the big picture thoughts from new Commanders left tackle Laremy Tunsil on being traded from the Houston Texans to the Washington Commanders.
I've been in this position before with the Miami Dolphins getting traded to Houston. So what I learned, don't take anything personal. It's just strictly just a business. And I actually, before I left the building, I talked to those guys, D'Amico and Nick, and pretty much they're just trying to keep the young guys together. As simple as that. When I was a rookie and I was talking to my OG, who was Brandon Albert and Jermon Bushrod and Mike Pouncey, they told me it's a young man's game. And, I've seen it for myself. They drafted some young guys and they hit on every draft pick. They're trying to keep those guys together. So I fully understand. Like, they just paid Stingley today. Like, they just gave that boy that bag. So I truly understand. Like, it's no hard feelings. Like, at the end of the day, it's a business. You know what I mean? I don't take anything personal. There's no hard feelings against the Houston Texans. I thank them for just putting me in this position, and I thank you for everything they did for me and my family and changing my life. I get it, man. When I was with Miami, I didn't get the courtesy call from Miami. I kind of woke up out my nap and got traded. So at least this time was a little bit different. So
I think it's great that he got, to talk to those guys on the way out. They're like, hey, man, look, this is what it is. And he gets it. This is a business. I always do think it's nothing personal. Because if Laremy Tunsil was so undeniably great that, like, he would help you, they are trying to win right now, they wouldn't have traded him. They clearly are okay with taking the risk that Derek Stingley is worth paying and that they're obviously going to have to pay Will Anderson and they're going to have to pay C.J. Stroud possibly as soon as next offseason. Those guys will be going – wait, hold on. They just finished their second year? Yeah, next offseason after 3. You can start talking about extensions. With those guys. So at the end of the day, like, it is something where if he was undeniably the best left tackle in football and their offensive line had not been a nightmare last year, they trading Laremy Tunsil? Probably not. But is it the best move for the Houston Texans right now to let him get a fresh start, for them to get a fresh start in that O-line room, and then for them to open the cap to do things like they did today for Derek Stingley, making him the second highest paid corner in the NFL? Yeah. Probably the right move all around. So what kind of impact can he make here in D.C.?
I mean, honestly, I think I can make a huge impact. Just talking from a player standpoint, what I bring to the table, pass protector, a damn good run blocker, a leader. I could be a mentor to the young guys in the O-line room, D-line room, doesn't matter, in the position group. I think I can make a huge impact quickly, honestly. In my opinion, I think they traded me. They traded for me for that reason, just to make a huge impact on the team. So, I'm down to do whatever they want me to do, especially at year 10. If they need me to play quarterback and back up Jayden Daniels, then I can do that, running back, whatever.
Oh, so we got a sense of humor on this guy. Hey, Anthony, we know he can be an agent. He does his own deals.
Hey, he was a receiver in college too, man. He caught a passing touchdown at Ole Miss, so he's very versatile.
Look, he's a freakish athlete, dude. Yeah. Let me put it this way: do I think Laremy Tunsil could play NFL running back? No, I don't think that's a good idea. Would I want to have to tackle Laremy Tunsil if they decided to hand him the ball? Also, no. Would not want to have to tackle Laremy Tunsil. I do think it's kind of funny. Two things in there. One, he made sure to say, hell of a run blocker. That's been a thing where people think he's not good. I think the problem for him perception-wise when it comes to run blocking, he's not as good of a run blocker as he is a pass blocker. It's because he's the best pass-blocking left tackle, arguably, in the entire NFL, and he is a simply very good run blocker. He's not devastating in the way that Trent Williams is and was. So it's not like he's the best run blocker in the league. He's just a really good run blocker. But when you're the best pass protector, all of a sudden it's like, oh, why are you only scoring in the 70s there when you're the 90s over here? And it's like, you realize that there's 10 other guys in the league that score in the 70s? Like on the PFF grades? Like he's still really, really good at that. So I think that's the kind of thing about the run blocking. The other thing that I found funny about that is, hey, I'm ready to mentor. I'm ready to do this. That's been a criticism too. And I don't know whether that's him hearing it or whether he's at a different point in his career, but like we'll see on that one. But it is at the very least nice that he seems open to the idea because he does have a lot to offer. He has been in the league a long time and he is a very good player.
Yeah, I think today he was definitely trying to address all of the criticism, from Houston to here. And even, he talked about, and it's not in the cuts that I put in the folder, but he talked about, wanting to be an all-pro and, he's never been earned that award and things of that nature. So, like, he's hearing it all. And Ernie, I think he wants to, prove to everybody that he can be those things that people said he couldn't be.
Look, and on the all-pro thing, we know that it helps your cause to be on a good team, right? You can be an all-pro. All-pro, the voters, the AP, do a really good job of trying to identify the truly best players. But if he has an elite season on this team and they finish similarly to where they did in the standings last year, high up in the NFC, 12-win type of team, Laremy Tunsil has a great shot at becoming an all-pro. Obviously, he'll be doing that by protecting Jayden Daniels. Here's his thoughts on playing with his new QB.
I can tell you this, I damn sure can't wait to block for Jayden Daniels. He's a baller, and just from seeing this on TV and watching film, and he seemed like he's a better dude too. And just hearing that from a lot of people just around the locker room, and his teammates from LSU, I know a couple of those guys. Just a good person, a baller, so I can't wait. Go make my job hella easy.
Yeah, you just block, and if you miss, you go, Jayden, watch out, and then he runs away. That's a neat trick. Love that. Last but not least, the one big issue for him on the field last year was the penalties. He was asked about those today.
I kind of just like challenging myself to find new challenges in my game to get better at. And so every year I try to find something like, I can do this better, or I want to do this better, or I want to be known for this, or so I kind of just put that chip on my shoulder by myself. It's really just me versus me at the end of the day. Especially there's a lot of things I want to work on, like those 19 penalties I had last season was unacceptable. So that's something I want to address for sure, getting that number down or even having none. I want to keep growing as a player, honestly, as a pass blocker, a run blocker. It doesn't matter. I'm always trying to improve in each of those fields. So.
We'll see if he can do it. I mean, last year he was definitely trying to jump the snap a lot. That's where he got a lot of the penalties were false starts. And I don't know whether that was something with CJ's cadence where he and Tunsil weren't on the same page, the center. But he's a guy that likes to really try to get off the ball quickly. And that helps him be as great as he is. But you got to get it right. And so I'm sure he and Jayden will work on that. Bobby Johnson, Cliff, like all those guys will get in that room together and they will figure that out because that is just the kind of operation that they're now running in Ashburn.
Hey, this is DA, and you're listening to The Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.